Hello, my friends. Once again, here I am for you to give you a nugget for the day. And today we are going to focus on the people that are in sales, right? And who is in sales? Who you think is in sales? Well, guess what? Everyone is in sales. Every single person is sales. One time I talked with a friend of mine and I said that, everybody is in sales. He said, no, I hate sales. And he spent 20 minutes to tell me why he was not a salesperson. And at the end of the day, I said to him, you know what? You almost convinced me. I would say you're probably one of the best salesmen. You almost convinced me that you actually are not a salesperson. So everybody is a salesperson in different stages or different parts in our life. We are a salesperson. But not only in sales, but we are going to focus on anything that we do or everything that we do. Could be management, could be your personal relationship, everything. And so we want to talk about the common denominator of success. What is it and why is it important to do it, right? So in very simple things, why people are successful and some people are not. So you can go to a company and you can ask them, hey, do you have a sales team? And they'll say, yeah, we have a sales team. So what's the name of the guy who sells the most? Or what is the name of the guy who performs the most in your department, right? It could be any department. And they'll give you a name. All right. And what's the guy who performed the least? The guy who is barely making it every month, or sometimes at that point. And they'll say, well, I got this person. All right. So what's the difference between the guy who's successful and the guy who's not successful? Because at the end of the day, both are human people, right? Human beings. And both have abilities and talents, but why some of them are successful, some are not successful. So the reason, believe it or not, is because successful people create the habit of doing the things that they don't like to do, but they do it because they're seeking a specific result. While failures don't do those habits because they only want the results that are going to come from the methods that they want. So, in other words, very short is successful people make the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. So if you are a failure and you want to be a successful, focus on doing the things that failures don't like to do. If you find successful people doing things that you don't like to do, but they do it, you might think, wow, well, probably it's because they like it. Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you something. Because they love the results so much, they don't like it. You see, successful people also do things that unsuccessful people don't like to do, but they do it. They do it. So, if successful people don't like things, the same thing that unsuccessful people don't like to do, why do they do it? It's because they have a purpose. A purpose. Now, it is easier to fall in the habit of not doing the thing that you're supposed to do than doing the things that you're supposed to do. And I'll tell you why. I will guarantee you 98% of your company or your friends or the people around you, they rather not do certain things. They rather not to have the thing they want if they can avoid doing the thing they don't like to do. In the contrary, all those people that are very successful, they push themselves hard to do the thing that you don't like to do, or most of the people don't like to do. Because there's one thing that we need to understand here, clear. Regardless you're in sales, regardless you're in production, regardless wherever you are, success is unnatural. It's unnatural. It's not a natural thing. Natural thing is not to be successful. You see, unnatural is to be successful. Why would we say that? Because 2% of the population make 98% of the money. And 98% of the population fight for 2% of the money. So it must be a reason for that. So what do we do? How do we become successful in the field? Look around for people, look around what people don't like to do. You know, when you're working for a company, I got a lot of clients that are employees, right? So they're managers, they want to be promoted. And they say, well, I've been in the company all this year and I've never been recognized. And I said, well, what do you do? Right? What do you do? And so a lot of people believe, truly believe, that hard work is all it matters. But it's not. Hard work might be a requirement in certain situation to work. But there's so many people out there that don't really work hard and they're very successful. And other people are working so hard, they're not successful. So that shows you that hard work is not the only reason to be successful. It is something more. It is something in your attitude, right? Your attitude of what we said, give, right? Givers gain. So for example, you have a position, you get paid normally in a company, so you know all companies are different, but in a general rule, you will get paid about 10%, 10 to 20% of what you're worth for the company. So let's say you get paid $100,000. You're really worth for that company. Your contribution, regardless whether you're in sales and production or human resources, your contribution to this company is about $1 million. That's what you value. So they're paying only about 10% of what you're worth, right? And so what happened? If you do more, if you do more of what you get paid for, then you're more valuable because you're doing someone who's making $150,000 job, but I'm getting paid 100,000. So what the company is going to do? Well, the natural thing, most people say, well, the company was just not gonna recognize. They recognize it. They recognize it, and that's why those people get promoted. You say, but I've been doing my job all the time. Yes, you've been doing your job, but you haven't done more of your job. So your value hasn't increased. And the company that see this person said, there's something wrong. We need to adjust his salary because he's producing more than what he get paid for, and he get a raise or a better position, right? It shows that interest of leadership. And companies love leaders because most people don't want to be leaders, because most people don't want to do. They rather stop doing things they don't like to do so they can avoid things they don't like to do. But they rather not to have a better car, not to have a better house, because you know what? I just don't like to do it. Well, guess what? Your neighbor who's running a nice car or big in a big house, he also don't like to do it, but he does it. Now, come to my attention several times, and people say, well, you know what? I had a family and I have to maintain my family. Isn't that a big purpose for me to work hard? Well, guess not. And I'll tell you, and I had it in my phone here. I'm going to share with you guys. I read this. I like reading books, and I think so. I think so that the habits. If you want to do good in your life, you want to really make it. If you really want to be successful, focus on building and changing your habits. Believe it or not, your habits today, they deliver 98% of the result that you see, they came from your habits. So if you put hard work on changing a behavior, guess what? Down the road, nothing's going to change. You got to go to the root because the behavior is simply the continuation of a habit. And so if you put your heart into changing the habit, now, habits create the habit of doing the thing that failures don't like to do. Habits, and I explained this in another video, but I'm going to review this again. Our bad habits, what I call them sin, right? Our bad habit, they offer us instant gratification. Because they give us instant gratification, basically we are not pleased by the end result. We're pleased by the desire of the end result. And that desire of the end result really is filled with dopamine, which is a drug that the body produces to create motivation and do things. So when you get an instant gratification, then that's more motivation that get wait delay for a gratification is going to be delayed. And of course, as I said before, you can celebrate your daily success because you're working towards a goal. You're working towards a goal, a result that you want, a goal you want. So like R19 was saying, successful people are successful because they're working, progressively working towards a goal. If you don't have a goal, you're lost. You can be in any position. And if you lost your goal and you thought you accomplished your goal, you fixed the wrong goal. Because the goal is to make you grow, right? Well, I don't want to go too far into that because I really want to keep it short. So put it this, you want to be successful in what you do, focus on doing the things that failures don't like to do. Anybody can be a successful. Successful people were not born successful. They create themselves to be successful. And they did it because they want something so much. So, for example, a couple of things I'm going to share with you from two books that I think are amazing. One of them is Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits explain you very deeply how to change your habits, right? And it takes you in a very detail that, and I love Atomic Habit because, you know, one cell have, and I wrote it down here, it has 100 trillion atoms. One cell, 100 trillion atoms. And in a body part, a baby, you know, we all were babies, right? We all were babies. We have 2 trillion cells. But one atom is insignificant. It has no value. But it's the accumulation of those atoms that form the cell. One cell is insignificant, but it's the accumulation of those cells that form one baby, form us. So it is true that the habit will give you the result that you have. You want to change the result, change the habit. If you want to work hard, don't work hard on changing your behavior, work hard on changing your habit. Because it's the habit who's giving you the result you have, and it's the habit who's going to give you the results you want in life. Now, that was the talk of today. I want to keep it short, guys, because I know that I think so short videos that go specific for what we need to do is what give more value. I can go for hours about this, but I don't want to go that far. I like short books too. But one other thing I wanted to say very short before we go, and I know, man, guys, I love this, is from the book High Performance Habit. And the High Performance Habit had one thing that also John Kennedy had when he went to the moon. And he said, we will get there because we only need The will to do it. The will to do it. The will to do it. Are we willing to do it? And I think so. One of the several things that the high performer said, but one thing that I think so is a key. Are you hungry enough? Are you hungry to make that choice, to do whatever it takes to remain positive and to work so hard in creating that habit that will give you the results that you want? Okay. All right. So let me see. I have a couple people here. Said David, and I put them for you guys here. David's here. So true. Thank you, David. And I have here said, user member said, your income is directly proportionate to your belief in doing more than what you are paid to do. Exactly. Exactly. It is exactly that. Your income is in proportion to what you believe. And you believe in your belief system is your habits. Your habits, your paradigm, your self-image, is your belief system. It determines everything. But you can change it. And it's constantly, it's dynamic, it's constantly changing. All right, guys. So be hungry. What is drive you to get what you want? If you're not hungry, you're not going to be successful. It's impossible to be successful if you're not hungry. Even put it this way: you want a coffee, and you want that coffee, you're hungry for that coffee. You do whatever it takes for that coffee. You wake up at 5 in the morning, you're gonna get dressed and you go on your pajama, get in the car, and just try to get that coffee because you're hungry. Well, you need that hungry to be successful, to create the habit of doing the things that you don't like to do, but you do them because you are hungry for the results. All right, guys. I took a little bit longer than I wanted, but I hope so that this video liked it, and we'll see you again tomorrow with something new, probably related with habits. I love them, but have a great night. Good night.